What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Final Four. My name is Matt Peralta, and welcome into our weekly college basketball picks podcast, where I'll be breaking down the Final Four for you guys. We are down to just 2 games left in college basketball. I'm going to give you 4 stats, one for each team, that I think can help us make plays. I'm going to give you 3 bets, plus I'm going to give you a hard rock bet of the day as well for the Final Four. So I have 4 different bets that we're going to give you guys coming up here on the show today. It is Indianapolis. It is Lucas Oil Stadium. They have hosted Final Fours before, so we have data. We have information about how teams have performed in this dome, how they have shot, the way the games have gone. So we'll do that all coming up here on the show for today. Before we get to the picks, a reminder about one of our friends, Omaha Steaks, who have been with us quite a while here with BettingPros, my other show, The Daily Juice, and something that's been in my freezer for a long time because, I'm a busy guy. I need to make food that is high in protein and high quality, quickly, easily, but also make it taste great. These things have been in my freezer for a while, and I can't tell you the number of times where I've gone and realized I have the smash burgers in my freezer and they go straight onto the grill. There's no defrosting to worry about. Defrost chicken sometimes. I can't have and don't have time to do that. You got these burgers that go straight onto the grill. It's an awesome time to get your kid or yourself fed well with high protein, high quality meat in this environment that we all live in. Time is such a huge commodity, and to have this is huge. It's a high protein dinner. It's great for you, your family, and everyone else that wants to get going here, as to have a meal that's in there at all times. When you get home and it's 6:30 and you're like, oh no, where am I going to get dinner? You got it in the freezer with Omaha Steaks. High quality protein on hand is huge. For anybody like me, you do love to pack on the protein because it helps, and plus you get the exceptional flavor and the convenience of Omaha Steaks. And right now, during their spring savings event, it's an awesome time to get Omaha Steaks with this exclusive lineup of USDA certified tender steaks, gourmet burgers, air-chilled chicken, pork, seafood, and more, all delivered right to your door. And if you take advantage of this right now, you can get the world's best everyday protein during their spring savings event by going to omahasteaks.com for an extra $35 off when you use that promo code PROS at checkout. That's promo code PROS at checkout, omahasteaks.com. Terms apply. See site for details. Okay, 4 teams, 4 different things to look at. First big bet, stat for the bets is kind of an overarching conversation. You do not want to be on the public side in the Final Four, okay? We have seen a bunch of public sides go down in the Final Four and in the national title games. The biggest public sides, 0-4 straight up and 0-4 against the spread in the Final Four. Only one team that has closed even with a 62% mark of tickets or higher since 2008 have come in and cashed. That was Duke last year, who blew the lead and lost to Houston. So biggest public sides, be careful here. We want to stay away from the public. If you see a lot of people going all one way, if everyone's going one way, that's probably not where you want to be here. Now, let's talk about Illinois. Brad Underwood, 21 games in the tournament with 3 different schools. He's been pretty good. In the round of 64 in the Sweet 16 and the Final Four now going into it, he is 9-3 against the spread. However, in the round of 32 in the Elite 8, he's just 4-5 ATS-wise. Underwood's 75% ATS mark when he has more time to prepare is really good. Now, Dan Hurley is 10-3, also really good. So you got the UConn coach at 10-3, and you got Brad Underwood at 9-3. So that kind of washes away a little bit here as to who gets the coaching advantage. UConn is a very interesting team because why? Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley is 10-0 against the spread in the Sweet 16 or later. That's insane. That's the best mark for any head coach in the seeding era. Brad Stevens, the GM of the Celtics, he was 7-1 at Butler. He's number 2. UConn's also 14-0 with Dan Hurley as their head coach in the round of 32 or later. That is unbelievable. On top of the fact that Connecticut, when they get to the championship game, have never lost. They're 6-0 in the championship game, and they're 6-0 against the spread, which is the best percentage in national title games and the most wins among all programs. I mean, that is ridiculous. UConn is 12-1 straight up and 11-2 against the spread in the Final Four in program history. Okay? You have two incredible coaches, two incredible programs, but UConn's history is ridiculous. Michigan has been playing incredibly well in this tournament. Michigan, their path, though, is a little bit easier than others. If you look at the seeding-wise, a 16, a 9, a 4, and a 6. That's who they beat on the way to the Final Four. However, Michigan's shooting in this tournament has been incredible. In the early part of the year, in 2025, Michigan was hitting at just 38% from behind the arc. Then in January, it was down to 29%. Then we hit February. They played 17 games in the month. They shot the rock at 40% from behind the arc. In the NCAA tournament, Michigan is all the way up to 44.6% shooting from behind the three-point line. Dusty May's team is really shooting well in this tournament. And finally, Arizona and Tommy Lloyd, his first trip to the Final Four. It's Dusty May's second, it's Dan Hurley's third, and it's the first time coming in for Tommy Lloyd. First time for Brett Underwood as well. He has been great at Arizona in the tournament, 22-6 straight up, 6-1 in games with small spreads of 4 points or less. ATS-wise, Arizona is 4-0 in this tournament. They were 2-1 last year. That's 6-1 combined for Arizona in the last two NCAA tournaments, and now they're in the Final Four. Arizona is the lone undefeated team in the non-conference. They have taken on 17 teams in the non-conference, and they have won 17 games straight up. They are 11-6 against the spread as well for Arizona. So, generally speaking, the coaches who have had more experience have done better in the NCAA tournament. Teams that have more experience in the Final Four also do better in the Final Four. That gives Dan Hurley a gigantic leg up. I told you about UConn being 6-0 in the championship game. UConn has the lowest odds, the longest odds, to win the national championship of the four teams remaining. This is too good of a bet. UConn is a 2-point dog to Illinois. Can they beat Illinois? Absolutely. But I think they beat Illinois in the Final Four, and then we'll see who they play, either Michigan or Arizona. But it's too good of a bet. We don't need to bet UConn to win this game, okay? Forget about the because if they win this game, they're in the championship game. So it really is a better bet to go ahead and bet on UConn to win it all than it is for UConn to win this game. UConn is a plus 650 dog here to win it all. We're going UConn to win it all at plus 650 because we can hedge off of it in the championship game. So don't bother the 2 points because chances are if Illinois wins, Illinois is going to cover that 2-point number. It's too small. So yes, there could be a 3-point buzzer beater. Yes, UConn just beat Duke by 1 point with a last second three. So maybe that happens again and we lose this bet, and I'm kicking myself for doing it. But I think at a 650, 6.5 to 1 return, knowing what will happen, I mean, they're probably going to be a 4 or 5 point dog to either Arizona or Michigan. So we would have plus 650. That's not going to be as good of a number as you're going to get. Plus 650, they're going to be 3 plus 350 plus 400. We'll have 650. We'll be able to hedge off of it, go ahead and take a money line play on the other side, or wait till in game and take a money line play on the national championship game on Monday. We can go ahead and do that. UConn to win it all at plus 650 is our first bet. Second bet, let's talk about Lucas Oil Stadium for a second. In Lucas Oil Stadium, they've had 40 college basketball games ever since 2013 in their building. The first half over is 24-16 in those 40 games. Why are they going over? Because the number is depressed because people think that the teams don't shoot well when they get to dome stadiums. First half overs went 11-6 so far in the NCAA tournament. While I don't like the Illinois-UConn game to go over, even though it might, I think the Michigan-Arizona game in the first half is going to go over. I like that game to go over 73.5 in the first half for Arizona and Michigan. 73.5 first half total to go over. I think we see offense. We talked about the Michigan three-point shooting and just how good the Michigan three-point shooting has been. It's been really, really good in this tournament. Let's keep it going. We know that Arizona can shoot the rock, and we know that Arizona's got the size to contend and score internally. We're going Arizona, Michigan, first half over 73.5. Third bet, Arizona catching 2 from Michigan. Look, you can take money line as well. I'll take the 2 points just because, but Michigan has been so dominant in this tournament because teams have packed it in the paint because they've been so concerned about Michigan's size and strength close to the basket. That has opened up the outside shooters, and that's why they're burying wide open threes, and they're shooting at 44% in the NCAA tournament. The thing about Arizona, though, is they have the size and the bulk and the strength to deal with the physicality of Michigan. They're not going to get pushed around the way other teams have gotten pushed around. Pete alone inside is not going to get pushed around by the bigs from Michigan. And frankly, while I like the guards for Michigan, I like Arizona's guards better. I just think when you look at how they've played in the non-conference, being 17-0, I think Arizona has been the best team in college basketball since I watched them way back in November. I think that they are the best team in college basketball still. I think Tommy Lloyd, even with the North Carolina rumor hanging over his head about whether or not he's departing to go to Carolina, which I think would be a great job for him to take, I think we come in and we got to go with it. I think we're taking Arizona +2. So our first 3 plays for the Final Four, UConn to win it all, which is essentially a money line play up against Illinois. Arizona +2. Arizona, Michigan, first half over at 73.5. If you want more, you could take UConn over Arizona for an exacta. That's 12-1. I have bet that because if UConn wins and Arizona wins, I'll come back and take Arizona, and then we'll have multiple plays on this. So this is how I like to attack markets, is by taking big pluses and being able to hedge off of it to guarantee profit. So Arizona, I do think is a good play to win it all, but I'd rather just take UConn because I think UConn beats Illinois, play that exacta, and then bet Arizona money line during the game or pre-flop, depending on the price, to come in. So UConn +650 or UConn over Arizona. Sure, Michigan can beat Arizona. Absolutely. And that would kill that bet. That's why I like the UConn play more. I like the UConn +650 play more than I like the Arizona UConn exacta. So that's why I'm talking that's a better play to do that. But if you want more or you want to get involved with some other things, you can do that as well. Before I give you the Hard Rock Bet of the day, let me tell you about our friends at Hard Rock Bet. It is here, the round of 4. It's in Indianapolis. We will find a national championship in just a couple of days. Who will cut down the nets? We'll have to wait and see. But Hard Rock Bet has got your daily dancing boosts going on right now. They've got live profit boosts and a parlay profit boost for the games, giving you more ways to go in there and cash in with boosted odds when the stakes are at their highest. Hard Rock Bet is also giving you a chance with new signups to double your winnings. First 10 bets, maximum of $50. It means if you would have won $100, they're going to double it to $200. So don't just sit there on the bench. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today and get the party started. Let's talk about the NIT for a second. This is another way of approaching a market that maybe people aren't paying attention to. This starts tomorrow, Thursday, okay? Auburn is the last power team left. They'll play Illinois State, okay? The other side of the bracket, when you look at the way these games are going to get played out, and I'll give you an up-to-date number as to where these numbers are for this. Auburn was 7.5-point favorites at the last look over Illinois State in their game here they're still, now they're 6.5-point favorites. It's come down a bit, but I still like Auburn money line. Tulsa and New Mexico play on the other side. New Mexico is a 3.5-point, now 4-point favorite over Tulsa. Auburn at Hinkle. I think once you get to the Final Four, there's a question about whether or not Auburn would be focused. Would they be motivated? Would they be locked in? I think once you get here to Hinkle and you travel, it's let's just go win the whole thing. We're here. Let's go win it. I think Auburn's going to win it. It's +115 for Auburn, and I know it may be a little bit public to go after it, but I think that Bruce Pearl's kid has got enough talent on this roster for Auburn and enough athleticism on this roster to get past Illinois State out of the Missouri Valley and then most likely play a tough New Mexico team. But New Mexico is really hard at home. When New Mexico plays at the Pit, that's what makes them really difficult. Without New Mexico's home court advantage at Hinkle, I like Auburn here with a good sight line. I'm taking Auburn to win the NIT at plus 115. Shop around. Different books have got different options on that, but Hard Rock bet of the day is Auburn to win the NIT at plus 115. My name is Matt Peralt. We will be back on Monday for the national championship game. I will give you a full breakdown. I'll do it probably Sunday night into the game on Monday morning. So what to look for this podcast coming up on Monday morning as we'll get back after it to see who winds up who is going to cut down the nets coming up for the 2025-2026 College Basketball National Championship. My name is Matt Peralt. You guys can follow me at Sports Talk Matt. Go check out the Daily Juice podcast. If you haven't watched that before, we'll make more picks and plays for the big games in college basketball into the championship game coming up on Monday. I'll talk to you on the next episode of our weekly college basketball betting guide.